Hello and welcome to another Albion Online Dev Talk. My name is Robin Henkes. I'm Game Director of Albion Online. I'm joined again by Jörg Friedrich, our Creative Director.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Cool. We'll be talking today about Final Beta. We'll first talk a bit about the dates of Final Beta, then we'll talk about what we're looking forward to and what the team's looking forward to, and then we'll give you a little bit of an outlook of what comes next afterwards. So yeah, what is Final Beta? Final Beta is the final phase of testing for Albion Online before its launch. We'll start this phase on August the 1st for all of our Legendary founders. On August the 2nd, all Epic founders can join, and on August the 3rd, all Veteran founders can join playtesting. The reason we break down the launch like this is so that we have a little bit less pressure on the starting zones and everyone gets to have a good starting experience. So, Jörg, Final Beta is upon us, finally.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the new world, obviously, to the new biomes. I'm particularly interested in how this is going to play out for trading. What our goal is that this is going to create a much more dynamic environment for merchants and for the economy overall. So this is something, and there is all these things that come with that, right? There is basically, you can't get all the resources in one area now anymore. You actually, if a city is in the mountains, it will have more ore, but not enough wood. So it will need to trade with other places where they get these resources. So you will see these caravans traveling along, because we also limit fast travel now in a way that you can't use it for trading anymore. And this will create caravans of merchants that actually have to transport goods, which also will, of course, create people that say like, hey, why should I actually go in the hustle of trading if I can just attack these caravans and steal stuff, and which will create the need for other people to like, hey, there are caravans that need protection, so I will support them. And all this is supported again by the reputation system on the Royal Isles, which I'm also looking forward to, because I find it a very interesting step and more into something that supports our role-playing players and the more smaller guilds.
It also actually supports our less organized players.
Yes.
And this is something I'm personally looking forward to a lot, is seeing more players daring to venture out into the PvP zone of the Royal Continent, because there's this incentive not to just kill on sight, but to decide whether you're going to go down that route and become visible as a bad person.
Yeah.
Or to live the life of a good citizen, and maybe you have to let some prizes slip because some wealthy merchant is running past you. But if you want to live the good life, then, or the good citizen's life, then that's how you're gonna have to play. Yeah, so that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
But
there's also the Outlands, right, which is more than half of the world now, which is the area where no reputation system is in place, and where the big wars happen, where you also find the most precious resources, and where we're gonna see huge wars between guilds, right? That's what we're expecting, and that's also something I'm really looking forward to. I think it's again a system that makes the world much more dynamic. Than what we had in the old beta test.
Yeah, I'm also very much looking forward to seeing how the guilds play in the Outlands, because we've given them a lot more space, really, to fight their wars and extended the incentives.
Basically, the Outlands are now bigger than the whole entire world of the which we had in the old beta.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's something like 260. Zones actually for the guilds. It's crazy big. And there's more to look forward there to look at. I mean, the changes in the GVG, which should close some gaps in the 5vs5 fights and offer some new strategic opportunities. Really, should be interesting to see how the guilds play with that.
There's also more in the open world now, right? We have more targets that can be attacked in the open world.
I mean the watchtowers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that will definitely be cool. Yeah, I mean, but if I had to summarize the beta, and my expectation is kind of everything is bigger.
Yes.
We have a lot more of everything. We have a lot more weapons also. The artifacts items should offer a lot of new tactical opportunities, more cool loot.
And at the same time, and that's something that we needed to do, right? And that's I think we should mention it because it usually stays rather invisible, is on the technological side and on the tool side. We are much more ready now to have such a huge world, right? We worked on the server infrastructure, we worked on our tool side. That is a continuous process, obviously, but that's also something that actually made all this possible at all.
Yeah. Right. It's also something that the team has been very happy about, that we finally have the tools in place to do certain things with the world. While we're talking about the team, I thought we'd give the team the opportunity to talk about what they are looking forward to in beta as well, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do that. Let's hear it from the team.
I'm really looking forward to our new reputation system.
It really adds consequences to what you're doing. So I will be a good person because I don't like killing other players.
I'm very excited about all the new creatures and animals.
I'm looking forward to the new artifact items because with all the new items coming in there, all the equipment items give you so many choices for new spells, and it gives you so many options to customize your build, and that's going to be really exciting.
I'm very happy about the 5 biomes that we will have in the game.
The mountain biome, I think the players will explore a whole new world where that feels very different compared to the swamp and the steppe.
The terror bird, which is a terrifying predator, and I really, really look forward to go out and hunt and kill them.
I'm mostly looking forward to the critters. The players will probably know them as the ore elemental and the swamp dryad. They're providing a new threat where the players don't expect it.
So as you can see, the team's also very excited about the launch of Final Beta. This is the time for us to talk about what happens next. What do we do as the beta launches throughout the beta?
Yeah, when you see this video, we're already working on the next biome. We're working on the Highlands, which is the home of the Keeper, and we'll bring also the Keeper artifacts. I've already seen first glimpses of it. It looks very, very nice. The art team is doing a really great job. And
can you tell us actually why the Keepers were... Oh, the Keepers were not in because the Highlands are not ready.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, right. It kind of does. Now we wanted to avoid giving people a wrong impression, right? By now having Keepers in biomes where they don't belong, because it's we wanted to have that create the feeling that our factions really have a certain home where they live and where they fit, and where their camps actually suit the environment. That's part of the binary work we did. And therefore, we didn't just want to exchange them on the fly, but rather have launched them properly with the actual biome. So that's what's currently happening. The Highlands are, well, yes, they're Highlands, so they're much more, I think they remind me personally a lot more of the old Albion, if you want. So a lot more of old England, Scotland, Ireland, like green, high areas, and the Keepers fit very well in there with their Stonehenge kind of architecture.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can expect the Highlands sometime mid-September.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And as you said already, they will be accompanied with their own set of artifact items, and we'll also be using the update in mid-September to introduce some of the other content that didn't quite make it in for the launch, like the demonic artifacts for Hell, and eventually also the level 3 artifacts, the raid artifacts from the raid bosses, the Demon Prince and the Earth Mother and so on.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Highland biome is not the only biome we're working on, right?
No, of course, then there's the 5th biome afterwards, which is the forests. And once we have that, we're going to be complete.
Very cool. Yeah, so that's what we have in the pipeline right now. There's a few things we're working on that's a bit more longer term that will be ready for launch, let's say. And that's something also has to do with the Keepers that I'm personally super excited about, I have to say. It's the audio overhaul. We've basically decided to give the entire audio of the game an overhaul.
And that is for the PC version,
and this
right?
is, I mean, the reason the audio is the way it is right now is that it's not that easy to get that much memory on tablets, right? It's kind of tricky to work with the hardware, and obviously there's a big discrepancy between the PC and the tablet. And what we've decided is that the PC players should not suffer for the sins of the mobile hardware. And therefore, yeah, the PC will get its own complete set of high definition audio. So both the in-game sounds, starting from the step sounds of the player, the sounds of a horse riding along, and all of that, and the soundtrack also, which we've just recently done some recording for, and the artists have done a very, very good job, I think, of doing it, and we'll share more about this in the future. But that is something to look forward to, maybe more towards the end of the final beta phase or towards launch itself.
Yeah.
As is the other big topic we're working on, which is the UI overhaul, right? We've recently shared it with the team. What were your impressions?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks really, really slick. I really like it. It's really cool. I think it will give the final touch to the game. I found it very clean and but fitting very well to the game as well.
Yeah.
And it finally also, again, we there, I think, finish finally the split between mobile and PC version, right? That actually PC players get their own UI to a certain extent. So yeah, that both versions basically get the UI that's best for the actual platform.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously a really cool looking one as well.
Yes.
There's something else about the world that will not be in right at the launch of Final Beta, unfortunately, but that you're working on.
That's right. There's the cities. We actually rework all the cities so that they fit the biome. There's the cities that we launch right now, they also fit the biome, but only a little bit. They're a little bit adjusted. But we actually rework really like all the buildings and how the city is structured and how it looks like, and so it really fits in. So, for example, when the backdrop of a mountain city will give you an outlook over the mountains and into the valleys and things like that, and they will use because there's different resources there. They will use different materials to build their buildings compared to a city that is, say, in the forest. And this is something very, very cool, and we're working with some partners there that help us building these. Yet we don't want to put parts of it into the game right now. We rather want to launch it as an entire package, and so it's something that's going to be ready for launch.
Yeah, so I mean that means even after the launch of Final Beta, there's a lot of stuff coming that players can look forward to, even still being changed. Obviously, we'll be continuously working on the balance of the game. We've just reintroduced a lot of weapons that will shift up the meta, and we're really, really excited to see how that plays out. Yeah, I think overall we're all very excited about the launch of a Final Beta. Well, I hope you enjoyed this dev talk and found it interesting. We also hope you're very excited about the Final Beta, as we are, and we hope to see you online.
See you there.